just stepping into my feminine self. I feel like I've been a lot in my masculine, especially as a business owner. Like my masculine is very comfortable for me. I'm good at taking charge. I'm good at telling people what to do, planning everything. And for the first time in maybe since I was a kid, stepping into my feminine self and having pieces that feel just sexy and fun and colorful has really been where I have really enjoyed being right now. Sometimes it does take being in something a little bit uncomfortable to step out into something different than what you're used to every day.
Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Scale podcast. I'm your host, Mary Katherine, and today we have Tannya Bernadette, who is the founder of The Closet Edit, a personal styling company that empowers others to find their style and make the process efficient, easy, and rewarding. Unlike many personal styling companies, The Closet Edit chooses a personalized style approach for both men and women that suits all budgets with options to work together online or in person. And she's located in the Seattle, Washington area. With 15 years of dedicated experience, Tanya has honed in on a unique approach, delaying beyond fashion to help clients achieve broader life goals. She believes in the transformative power of style, having guided individuals in finding love, navigating career transitions, and adapting to new environments. Tanya's passion lies in connecting the dots of personal expression, whether it's discovering the perfect sneakers or a vibrant dress that resonates with each individual. Tanya is the host of the Closet Edit podcast, the only weekly fashion podcast that connects style to expressing who you are and how you feel your best, helping people all over the world to build a wardrobe that truly reflects themselves. So, welcome, Tanya, to the podcast. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Me too. And today, you can't tell, I'm not sure if this is videotape, but I'm wearing my Abercrombie workout top. That's so cute. The back has like this detailing to it. And then I have my cute little shirt that I wear to work over it.
I love that. That's so on trend right now, right? Like the crop tops and the sports bras with like a blazer over top. I can't keep up with what's trending and what's not. But it honestly seems, in my honest opinion, that anything is and everything comes back. Like the
Oh, yeah.
jeans that I was wearing in middle school are now back in style, and I'm sure they'll go out and come back again. So just never get rid of anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tanya, I want to start by you sharing your personal journey in discovering your own unique style and how that evolved into helping other people with their fashion and just feeling good with what they're wearing and just feeling good in their own skin.
I love that question because very few people ask me about how my style has evolved. But let me tell you, it's always changing. It is always changing with the different places in my life. But just to share from the beginning to take you where I am now, I grew up in Edmonds, Washington. I always looked very different. My family's Peruvian. I would take soup for lunch while everybody had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It was like that kind of difference growing up. And I always found that since I was different, I wanted to dress differently too. So from a young age, I really found fashion as my place to explore and find who I was. And then fast forward to opening my business at 21 years old. I was a young Latina woman going into spaces at the time. Most of my clients were 40 years and older. And I was this 22-year-old trying to be taken seriously in the industry. And I used to dress very conservatively because I wanted people to trust me. I wanted people to see me as a businesswoman. Back then, 15 years ago, it was not cool like today to be young and have your business. You really had to prove yourself along the way. So I wasn't able, it's so funny because at that time, and I write about it in my book, I was helping other people really step into feeling good with who they were and expressing who they are. And I couldn't do that for myself for a few years. And I kept telling everybody I was 27 when I was 22 years old. It was such a weird time in my life. Um, and then, having kids and trying to explore what your body is like after having kids and you don't know who you are anymore. You're like, am I still that old Tanya or am I a new Tanya? And trying to find what your style is. But now, where my style is at is I feel so much freedom in exploring and just stepping into my feminine self. I feel like I've been a lot in my masculine, especially as a business owner. Like my masculine is very comfortable for me. I'm good at taking charge. I'm good at telling people what to do, planning everything. And for the first time in maybe since I was a kid, stepping into my feminine self and having pieces that feel just sexy and fun and colorful has really been where I have really enjoyed being right now.
Mm. I appreciate you mentioning that because as a female business owner in the industry that I'm in, I very much have felt like I am not stepping into my feminine self enough because I'm wearing gym clothes all the time and I'm helping people work out, which is not like a glamorous job per se. Like you're not going to show up with all your hair and your makeup done every day when you're going to the gym to help people lose weight and to get fit. Like you're just not. And I've actually had to there have been so many times during the week where I'm literally like, I'm just going to get ready and I'm going to do my makeup just because I need this today. I need to show up as that person today. So I love that you appreciate that because for anybody listening to this, I know many of our listeners are moms, they're middle aged women. They are in the thick of not only motherhood, but they're in their careers and they're growing families and businesses and doing all the things. And we're so busy being busy all the time that we don't take enough time to sometimes be like, I am a woman, I am beautiful. I'm going to step into my feminine self today. I'm going to put some makeup on. I'm going to put on an outfit that I love. And I just really appreciate you mentioning that.
Yeah, you feel so much more put together. I just heard an episode of the Rachel Hollis podcast where
Oh,
she
yeah.
shared, like, in the middle of pregnancy, she had her first baby. 11 months later, she was pregnant again and was in the middle of having two toddlers. And she looked in the mirror and she didn't recognize who she was. And she knew she liked to dress up, she knew she liked to do her hair. And at the time, she didn't have a lot of money. And all she did was she found this really cool cocktail ring and just wore that around the house to feel just a little more fabulous, a little more elevated, because it does make a difference when you're not feeling good.
I really like that. That's a great story. And thinking about that, I noticed your purple nails. I love your purple nails. And I painted my nails the other day. And between taking care of the kids all morning, I was picking them. And my husband just looked at me in the kitchen and said, "What did you do to your nails?" And I'm like, I didn't even realize that I did that to them. So just getting like your nails done or for many women, like going to get your hair done, like those little things, they go a long way. They really do. They help you just feel good, even on those days where you're in the thick of taking care of toddlers and you don't have time to brush your hair. Just that one little thing can make a huge difference.
I completely agree. And I actually just started getting my nails done. For years, I didn't get my nails done. But again, busy mom, running the business, doing the thing. Just, I think it was maybe 6 months ago, I started. And every month I go in, I'm like, this is my me time. I end up coming up with ideas of new podcast episodes, blog posts I can do. So when I'm there relaxing, it's so interesting that, oh, I'm coming up with new ideas as I go.
Yeah. Well, and they say that when you overload yourself with things and you don't have enough room for, relaxation and taking care of yourself, you block your creativity. So, like, the more that you can have that me time and take care of your mental health and physical health, you can be more creative. Like, things are going on in here when your body's moving and when you're resting and you're just refilling your cup.
Agreed.
So, in your experience, how does what we wear affect our confidence and our mental and emotional well being? Can you share a story or an example where, changing someone's wardrobe significantly impacted their self esteem or their life outlook?
And it's interesting when I work with people. Yes, I work with people in different times of their life when things are transitioning, like they got divorced, they gained weight, they lost weight, like these different times. But I don't like to necessarily say that we're going to change their wardrobe or change who
Mhm.
they are. It's more finding the right pieces that really fit them, their life where they're at now, the goals that they have, their body. And when they step, the thing with fashion that's really interesting, there's a lot of things that have that delayed gratification where you have to like wait for a little bit to see results. But with fashion, you can try on an outfit and instantly see yourself in a new light, which is the wonderful part about the transformation of, going shopping, getting that new outfit, trying on something different that you haven't tried on before. So,
Yeah.
to give an example of a client I recently worked with, He had been overweight for a few years. He didn't want to shop for himself. Like even women do. We're like, oh, well, when I lose the weight, this will be my reward. Instead of just taking care of yourself now and feeling
Mm.
good now, he waited for a few years and he finally realized, you know what? If I do this now, then I will be able to feel good and I will be able to find love and I will be able to have that confidence. And so what he did is we ended up finding things that were so fun. Sometimes people get lost in drowning themselves in clothes or dark colors when they feel like they've gained weight. And he was like, nope, I'm open. I want to try something different. I want to try something more vibrant that is going to bring me joy when I get dressed. And this guy is not into fashion, but he knew that he wanted this for himself. And he messaged me a week later after we went shopping, and he was like, Tanya, I wore that shacket. Shacket, by the way, if you don't know what a shacket
Yeah.
is, it's a shirt jacket. Okay. I wore that shacket with just a basic shirt underneath, those pants that fit really well. And he's like, in line while I was getting Starbucks, the woman in front of me just started a conversation with me. Like she noticed me. And he felt so good that he was being noticed instead of being like trying to hide behind his clothes and not being noticed.
Mm. Oh, that's so great. And I have a story to like piggyback that. So many moms in their postpartum journey, they say like, okay, I'm going to go shopping when I lose the baby weight, when, I get this 10 pounds off. And my recommendation for anyone listening to this, even if you're not going through a postpartum journey, is you have to have clothes that you enjoy wearing and you like the way you look right now, or you're not going to be motivated to show up and go to the gym, to show up and do all of the things. Like sometimes just a quick little wardrobe change, like you mentioned, can spark something inside of you to help you show up as that person that you're becoming.
You know what? I really do, because I hear that all the time too. I think there is fear behind that. Like when somebody says, I want to wait for this moment in time to lose weight, I think it's a fear that they mean if they buy the clothing now, that that means that they accept where they're at, or that they won't ever lose the weight, or that they
Mm.
can't buy something new. And they're scared of also investing in themselves. But I do believe, and I see it every time somebody comes to me and we have a clarity call and they're talking through like these fears that they have. When they end up stepping over to the other side, they see the light and they see how good they feel afterwards. And like you said, it makes you want to show up more. If you have new outfits, you're going to make a play date with one of your girlfriends. You're going to make it to the gym because you want to look really cute in your clothes. You want that energy to play with your kids. Like stepping into something different really not only gives you confidence, but gives you that energy you need, because we're the ones looking at ourselves in the mirror every day when we're getting dressed. And funny enough, it's almost easier for you to see yourself in clothing that looks good than seeing yourself naked in the mirror. You're like, oh, well, naked, maybe I don't like every part of me, but if I find the right clothing and I look at myself, it makes me feel good. And we all just want to feel beautiful at the end of the day, too. So
Yeah.
that's an important part.
Yeah. And isn't it funny? Like we pick ourselves apart when we're naked in the mirror, but nobody sees us naked but ourselves. And then we put a nice outfit on and we're like, oh, I look good. Like we shouldn't worry about that naked body in the mirror all the time. Like put on something that you love to wear, put on something that makes you feel confident.
And sometimes it is pushing yourself a little bit and trying something that might feel uncomfortable because it's new. I just did a podcast episode about wearing the damn dress. And
Hmm.
it was a client who she kept doubting herself so much. She had like that beautiful, like curvy hourglass figure. And because she had always worn clothing that was oversized, there was a dress that she tried on that just looked and felt good. And when she stepped into that, with everybody's reaction that she didn't realize she was going to get, she showed that feminine, sexy part of herself that she had kind of closed off for such a long time. And she was telling herself, like, why didn't I wear the damn dress like years ago? So, yeah, just doing the thing. Sometimes it does take being in something a little bit uncomfortable to step out into something different than what you're used to every day.
Yeah. And when you say that, it makes me think about when we're in the gym, you'll see that person that is wearing their sports bra. Like they don't have a shirt on over top. They're just rocking, the high-waisted leggings and their sports bra. Meanwhile, you're looking at them thinking, whoa, I want the confidence to like take my shirt off and work out in my sports bra. And you're like, asking yourselves, would people be looking at me a certain way if I wore that? And usually it's only like this internal dialogue that we're having in our heads. It's no one else. And 9 times out of 10, when I see somebody like that, I'm like, you go, girl. Like, your body
Mhm.
doesn't have to be perfect. Like, nothing has to be perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. But if you can just show up with that level of confidence, it goes such a long way.
Mhm.
So, for someone starting on their journey to like redefining their wardrobe amidst like a health and fitness journey, maybe they're in a weight loss journey, what would be the first step you would recommend them taking?
So I've worked with people that have different kinds of parts of their life or body, not parts of their life, parts of their body that they need help with. So, for example, I've worked with a lot of women that have gone through breast cancer and they're missing a breast or they don't have their breast anymore and they're trying to figure out how to dress for that. Or people that have lost weight and they have a little bit of that body dysmorphia and they can't see their body smaller, even though it is drastically smaller than what it used to be. Or people that have gained weight and they're trying to figure out, how do I dress now? Like I thought I knew how to dress myself before when I was 15 pounds lighter, but now that I've gained 15 pounds, my body looks so different. I can't connect with my body. So all of these scenarios are very different in how you work through them.
Yeah.
But the thing that is similar when you're working through any kind of body issues and how to dress your body through the journeys that you're going through in your own body is that you want to first find something that you do really like about your body. Whether it's like, you know what, I really like my legs. I want to show off my legs more, then do that. A lot of people, I do have to say, regardless of their journey, the tummy area for pretty much all women is like they're very self conscious about. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter if they had kids or not, like the tummy area is a very self conscious part about, but sometimes we hide it the wrong way. So finding the
Yeah.
right pieces that just skim your body is the best option. Like, don't try to hide, don't get anything like too oversized, don't get anything too tight if you don't feel good in it. Just get things that skim your body.
Yeah. I actually, it's funny that you said that. So I'm very short waisted. I'm a very small petite person. I'm 5 foot tall. And I have these, I don't have them anymore. I got rid of them recently. These high-waisted jeans. And when I say high-waisted, I mean with someone with a very short torso. They go all the way up to underneath your bra line. And I saw a video of myself giving a presentation wearing these high-waisted jeans. And I had to do a double take. I'm like, whoa, those jeans make me not look attractive. I do not like those at all. Like, I should not be wearing those. And so I went through my closet after seeing this video and I'm like, I should not be wearing high-waisted jeans when I'm so short-waisted. And you just think that all of these pieces that they come out with that are in style will fit your body. Like, you just think because it's in style, I should wear it. Like, do you find that that happens a lot? Like, women think,
Yeah.
okay, this is in style, so I'm going to buy it. But really, it doesn't fit their body type. It doesn't complement the features they're trying to complement.
Exactly. And I do want to say the high waisted jeans, I wouldn't just say that as something you can't do at all anymore. I would say try a different pair because some of them are so high. I'm 5'4", and sometimes I try on a high
Yeah,
waist jean or pant and it is really high. I look like a clown in them, but there
right.
are some high waists that are not as high. So I wouldn't discard that you can't do it. So I would try another pair. If that doesn't work, just doing a mid rise is good, and maybe it will hit like a high rise naturally on you. So I've seen that too. I have a client who's actually 4'11", and we were shopping and she told me I cannot do a high rise pant. And she was like, it was on her list. She was very organized. And when we went shopping, I told her, I'm like, okay, well, we will try one, but we won't try one that is as high as the other one. For you, a high rise, we want it to hit at the belly area, the smallest part of your waist. And we found a pair that she absolutely loved from Aritzia, fit her perfect. And she was so surprised. And it had pleats, and she thought she couldn't wear pleats. And she loved it. She's
Yeah.
like, I could wear this with sneakers. I could wear this to work with a pair of high heels. Like, they're her perfect pant now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think, like, you have to take the time too. Like, sometimes I think for me as a busy mom, like, I'll go to Target on a Target run and I'll be looking at the new workout clothes and I'm like, oh, like, I need some new leggings. These are cute. Won't try them on, get home. And I'm like, I don't love them, but I'll keep them. And I feel like a lot of women, we do that to ourselves. We don't give ourselves the flexibility of going out and like go to the mall, look at a few different places, shop at a few different websites, and figure out what really fits you and what you like. And don't just settle on something because it's convenient.
Yes. And when you, especially for moms, in the time when your children are really young too, like we both have children that are really young, it's so easy to get caught trying to shop where they're shopping, where we need to shop for them. So everything from Old Navy to TJ Maxx to Target.
Yeah.
But when we're picking things up here and there, we're not creating that intentional wardrobe that we actually need. So we put that into perspective and save the 10, 20, $25 that we're spending at all of these other stores, we can actually save it and put it towards something intentional that we want to purchase for ourselves. So if it is, and I always tell clients, make a list of the top three things that you want to shop for and then keep your focus on that because especially with online shopping, it's so easy to get distracted and add everything to your cart that looks cute when you
Yeah.
don't have a direction that you're trying to take. So even if you have like a list of three things and you're like, okay, if I'm going to do online shopping today, I know that I need a new pair of shoes. I know I need a new spring jacket and I know I need some tops for a Zoom and make sure that you focus on that.
Yeah. I like that. And two, like to that point, I very much like I'm a Maxxinista. I'll go to TJ Maxx and I can drop a few $100s and then I'll wear one of the items that I got like once or twice and it's not that great of a quality because it was very, very cheap. It was on sale. And I find myself thinking, okay, if I just spent a little bit more on a few items that will last a long time and I can incorporate them into my wardrobe many different ways, then I would probably be happier in the long run with my wardrobe and I wouldn't feel like I just have all of these clothes but quote unquote nothing to wear.
Yeah. And it's a mix of getting the budget friendly pieces from TJ Maxx and also learning how to invest in key pieces that you can
Yeah,
add in with it. Because if you do enjoy that high, which a lot of us do, that
right.
high of finding like that thing on sale or that thing that's on budget, but you pair it with something more elevated, your look just becomes overall elevated. And those fun quote unquote pieces that you got, you can do the one or two times, but you still have those staples that you can work with that just fit you anytime you pull them on.
Yeah, I love that. So my next question for you was going to be around like what being budget friendly. So some of our listeners, they're trying to find budget friendly wardrobe updates. That can be a concern for them. It's like I don't have the money to shop right now. Do you have any other tips for like what they can do to start investing in pieces that fit their style that won't break the bank?
Yeah. So I do think going back to that list of 2 to 3 items, you can also put a budget. So have your list and also put a budget of how much you feel comfortable spending overall every month. And let's just say it's $100 a month that you want to put into buying something new. That could be 1 to 2 items realistically. Obviously, you can find like cheaper things, but if you think of how much a pair of shoes costs, you don't want something too inexpensive because you want it to last longer. So think about your budget you have every month, have your list going of the 2 to 3 things that you want to be looking for. And every month, be intentional of picking the 2 to 3 things that you need, that you want to continue adding. So by the end of the season, for example, right now we're in springtime. You've got 3 months to start collecting a few items that can change your wardrobe. Make sure that you get really good staple items. I would say for the listeners, because I've just seen a million closets, usually people do have to create more of a foundation to their wardrobe. Usually, when people feel like they don't have anything to wear, it's because they have so many random things or things that don't really fit anymore. And it really is thinking into like actually creating that foundation to your wardrobe again, which means if you wear jeans, pair of jeans. If you don't and you wear like joggers and leggings, getting the right pair of joggers and leggings. Getting shirts. Shirts tend to be something that people really struggle with. People always
Yeah,
think it's just pants, but the right shirts that people can wear again and again outside of like a t-shirt ends up being
right.
something that people struggle with. They're like, oh, I don't know the right fit or the right style to look for anymore. So yeah, just going through your basics and taking those 3 months and trying to collect things here and there. And you don't have to do it all at once. So just be intentional with the way that you shop.
I love it when I see like on Instagram, and you've probably posted stuff like this where it's like you have the person in the jeans and the plain t-shirt, and it's like take this look to this by adding a sweater and a belt and then the crossbody and like a fun hat. Like there's so many ways you can accessorize. And that goes back to what you said, like those staple items. You have to have those staple items first that you love and that fit and you feel good in. And then you can like mix it up a little bit after you have those.
And even knowing what your lifestyle is like. So we're talking to moms that are really busy. The beauty
Mhm.
about fashion right now is the versatility in the things that you purchase and how you can pair them together. So for example, like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, I'm actually wearing a workout top and it looks really good on Zoom. It looks like a top I could wear with trousers, which I probably can. And then I have this shirt over that is more work appropriate. I could put on jeans or trousers right now and walk out of the house and maybe add a belt. I've got earrings, so those things that you can easily go to your closet and pull on together make a huge difference. When you have too many things in your closet, it's like you try things on and you take it off and you try it on, you take it off, and then you feel like you have nothing to wear. So
Yes.
when they say that foundation to your wardrobe, it really is basics, but the basics that fit your lifestyle. If you are
Mm.
not going to work, you do not need a pair of trousers. You do not need a white button down shirt. It really depends on what your life is.
Yeah, yeah. So are there any brands that you as a mom, as a busy mom that you're like loving right now that our audience would like? Because, many of our listeners, they're going to the gym, but they also might be going into an office. But are there any brands that you love right now?
Oh my gosh, so many. I'm all about
Yes.
with every client, regardless of what their style is. I tell people you have to mix and match. You can't find one store and think that everything from that store is going to be you because you're not going to be able to make it you. Like if
Right.
you wear everything of one brand, it's not going to work for you. But just to share, because I'm wearing it right now too, I love Aritzia. I love the ease of throwing something on from Aritzia. It's so easy. Like the shirt is from Aritzia. I wear it with shorts, I wear it with jeans, I wear it with joggers, leggings, all the things. Abercrombie is also Abercrombie is more budget friendly. They've always got a sale going on every other weekend for like 15% off. Like right now they have a 15% off sale because I was shopping there for a client. So Abercrombie, Aritzia, and depending also on like what your style is. So these are things that have like great basics that are more modern. But if you enjoy things that are more colorful with prints, Anthropology is a great option. They have been a staple for people that really enjoy print and color year round. They have a lot of fun things. If you are more of like a classic woman, you really love the classic look and you find that trends don't really work for you, White House Black Market is
Oh,
always
yeah.
a great place to go. They always have like the classic look in the cuts of their blazers and their pants and their shirts.
Yeah, those are good ones. I I get what you're saying, like, you can't get all of your clothes from one spot and to make it you, because just the other day, I was on Instagram and I saw this influencer, and she was posting about Zara, which we don't have a Zara where I live, but I went online. And I'm looking at all of her posts, and all of these pieces that she is wearing are so beautiful on her. They're so fun, they're so colorful. But then I go to the actual website, and the way they have those items that she is wearing in her closet at home is so totally different on the model. And it looks nothing like it. And I'm like questioning to myself, like, is that still the same shirt? Or am I sure about this? And it looks so different on other people, and the way like they piece the items together, and I get that. Like I could easily go into J. Crew, for example, is one of my favorites. I could go in there and I could buy like a whole new wardrobe, but then at the same time, it makes more sense to just buy a few things there, a few things other places, mix and match it together versus trying to make that like my only place I shop, because that's sometimes where I struggle.
And Zara is really fun, but it's exactly that. It is fun. They are
Yeah.
more trend forward, so you can't get a lot of you have to get like one or two pieces from there and try to integrate it and style it. That's another tip I tell people. If you're going to buy something, go home and play with that piece. Make sure you can create outfits with it because if you can't, you are not going to wear it.
Yeah. Is there any other advice that you would give to someone who they want to update their wardrobe because they want to feel good and they want to get motivated when it comes to like going to the gym? But they also know that I'm on a journey to lose 50 pounds. And when I get there, I'm going to go and buy even more clothes because I'm going to love this new body that I'm in. Is there anything that you would say, like any, I guess, parting pieces of wisdom to someone who's on a journey like that and feels like I shouldn't invest in this right now?
I think that it is very important again to just be happy with where you're at. And if that means finding just one new outfit, maybe find one new outfit right now. It's the beginning of your weight loss journey and you know you're going to lose the weight, but don't delay feeling good about yourself. Because the thing is, when you are wearing pants that feel too tight, you know what happens is that you end up thinking about your body consistently throughout the day. Every time you sit down, every time you bend over and do something, you are reminded about how your pants don't fit and that your body, quote unquote, isn't where you want it to be. So when you do wear pants that fit, I know it sounds like so weird, but when you don't feel the clothing that you're wearing, it means that it fits you. It means that you're not going to be consistently like thinking about your body. And what happens too is that when you're thinking about the weight that you want to lose or what your body looks like that you're not happy about, it sometimes just makes you really unhappy throughout the day. And as you're eating and making decisions on what to eat, you're like, well, I'm already here. So why not eat that other cupcake? Or I guess my
Mm,
pants don't fit anyway. So why not do this? Whereas when you are starting to take care of yourself and you see yourself differently, it makes an impact on what you're eating, what you're doing day to take care of yourself. So if that means buying just one outfit and then maybe waiting 2 months and then seeing where you're at. If you did lose the weight, great. Go find something new, find
yeah,
something else that fits in. But if you didn't lose the weight, don't beat yourself up. And in the 2 months, just start shopping for another outfit that you can wear. So don't feel like you have to be stuck with where you're at in your style because you haven't lost the weight yet.
yeah, that's so great. And I just thought of one last thing that I want you to touch on sizes, depending on the brand. So many people get so set and focused on, I want to be a size 2 again, or I want to be a size 6 or an extra small. And like, I know for me personally, like, I like Lululemon for some reason. I don't like things that are way too tight. Like, there's nothing worse, especially as a short-waisted person, to have a sports bra that's like sucking the life out of you and brings everything that you have in the middle together. Like, there's nothing worse than that. So I usually size up in Lulu. I'll wear like a size 6, but in a lot of workout clothes, I'm like an extra small, but I wear a size 6 in Lululemon. And I don't let that bother me, but I know some people do. They think I have to be this certain size, but in reality, every clothing brand, their sizes are different. Can
They
you do you have any, like, coaching methods around that when it comes to shifting women's mindsets when they're focused and fixated on being a certain size?
Unfortunately, there's some people that they care so much about the size. So we actually, it doesn't happen often, but there are moments where we go shopping and a client is like, nope, not a size 10. If I'm a size 10 in that brand, I'm not buying that brand. So if that is something that you can't overcome, it just means avoiding certain brands. Aritzia is one of them. I'm a size larger in Aritzia. My pants are like a 6. When I'm Lululemon as well, Lululemon runs smaller. You're a size bigger. And yeah, you're correct. It's not that it's just squishing your body, it just runs smaller. So you have to go a size bigger. Zara as well, usually have to go a size bigger. So if you don't want to do that, you just have to look for the more traditional brands, such as like J. Crew, not your
Yeah,
daughter's jeans, the Nordstrom brand where things run really big. So there in the Nordstrom brand and pants, I'm a size 2, which usually I'm like 4 to the 6 because they run so big. So it just means avoiding brands if it bugs you. But if it doesn't, finding the right size so that you can actually wear a variety of different brands, it makes a difference. It's more about how the clothing looks on you than what size it says. If you
mm,
do buy more like designer, more expensive, over mid range brands, you are also going to be bigger than what the size that you typically wear really is.
yeah.
And yeah, it really is more of like, unfortunately, you can't help people's mindset get over it if it really bugs them. But just knowing that if it looks good and you see yourself in the mirror and you're like, oh, I'm a size 8 in this, but it looks so good on my butt.
Right.
Think about how it looks on your butt and not the number on the pants.
That's such great advice, and I have to remind myself of that sometimes when you're in the dressing room and you try something on, you're like, "Oh, I used to be this size. What's happening?" It's the brand, it's just the way all clothes are made differently.
And one last thing too, I've done this for 15 years. I have some clients I've been working with for 15 years consistently. And something I found with women especially is that I do have some clients that do not change weight. They are the same 120, 115 pounds in 15 years, but their bodies have changed in how they carry their weight. So
Mm.
the clothing that fits them, that used to fit them before, it doesn't fit them now. We consistently have to change it a little bit. So just giving ourselves grace. Our body is going to change regardless. Our style is going to change. You're not going to buy something, unfortunately. The style that you find and what works for you is not going to work for you for over, I mean, maybe 3 to 5 years. And then after that, you are going to change. Your body's going to change. Your life is going to change. You're going to be in a different place and want something different. So don't expect something to last forever.
Yeah, that's a great point. I tried on my wedding dress not too long ago, and that was a humbling experience. But it's like I'm the
Mhm.
same size as I was. Well,
Yeah.
I'm about the same weight, but I've had two children, so like my rib cage and everything is larger. And those wedding dresses, they have no give. So I'm like, why is this not zipping?
Yeah, when your rib cage, I have a very straight, your rib cage expands and there's nothing you can do about
There's
it.
no going back from that. Yeah. Well, Tanya, all of these tips and tricks and just mindset hacks when it comes to updating your wardrobe and really loving what you're wearing and to live your best life, these have been so great. Where can our listeners find out more about you and all of the great services that you provide?
Everything is at myclosetedit.com. The first step you can take if you're even interested in working with us is doing a clarity call. It's completely free. We talk about what shopping cycle you're stuck in, what your style goals are, and how we can achieve it together. But on the website, you can find my podcast. We actually just changed it to the Make It You podcast because I have people that come on that talk more about, yes, we talk about fashion, but we talk about everything around it that also influences your personal style. So on the website, myclosetedit.com, you'll find the podcast, my blog. I also have free resources for you to download so you can get additional help as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And to all of our listeners, definitely go check her out. I know that I am because sometimes I need some help with my wardrobe, especially as a busy mom who's in gym clothes 90% of the time. So this was all so great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you to our listeners for joining us for another episode of the Beyond the Scale podcast. As always, make sure to check us out on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, and share this episode with all of your friends. Until next time, thanks so much.